December 2023, Toulouse, France. An Airbus executive stands in front of the final A380 production line, already dismantled, already repurposed, and makes a statement that should be impossible. If Emirates wants more, we could restart the line. This is an aircraft that was supposed to be aviation's future. Then it became aviation's most expensive mistake. Production ended in 2021. Airlines couldn't retire them fast enough. Lufthansa parked theirs in the desert. Air France sent theirs to the scrapyard. 13 airlines bought the A380. 11 wanted out. But here's what doesn't make sense. While everyone else was running away from the super jumbo, one airline doubled down. Emirates now operates more A380s than every other airline combined. Not just operating them, making money with them. Profitable money. The kind that makes Airbus executives discuss restarting a production line they spent hundreds of millions of dollars to dismantle. Something here doesn't add up. The same aircraft, the same economics that bankrupted routes for everyone else, but somehow, for Emirates, it's printing money. This is that story, this is why. Let's go back to where this started. Paris Air Show 2000. Airbus unveils the A380 program to a packed auditorium. The pitch is simple, seductive, and backed by decades of aviation data. The future is bigger. Look at the numbers. In 1990, 100 million people flew internationally. By 2000, 400 million. Every projection said that number would triple again by 2020. More people flying means crowded airports, congested runways, limited slots. The A380's solution: don't add more flights, add more seats. One A380 could carry 555 passengers. That's 2 777s worth of people, using one runway slot, one gate, one set of operating costs. And here's the part that made airlines salivate. Economics of scale. Bigger aircraft means you spread costs, crew, fuel per seat, maintenance per passenger, across more revenue. The math was elegant, simple. The A380 would cost less per seat mile than anything flying. 18 airlines signed up, orders for 251 aircraft. This wasn't just a bet, this was consensus. But somewhere between 2000 and 2007, when the first A380 entered service, the world changed. Not dramatically, not all at once. Just enough that the assumptions underpinning a 500-seat aircraft started cracking. Low-cost carriers exploded. Southwest, Ryanair, EasyJet. They proved you could make money flying smaller aircraft more frequently to more destinations. Why fly once daily on a 747 when you could fly 3 times daily on 737s? More frequencies meant more schedule options, more business travelers, more connecting possibilities. The hub and spoke model, where everyone funnels through massive hubs, started competing with point-to-point service. Passengers realized, I don't want to connect through Frankfurt. I want a direct flight from Stuttgart to Miami. And then, Boeing read the room. They didn't build bigger. They built the 787 Dreamliner, smaller, more efficient, with range to fly anywhere to anywhere. Not 555 passengers from London to Dubai, 242 passengers from Edinburgh to Orlando, non-stop. The 787 became the fastest-selling widebody in history. The A380 became something else. By 2019, the verdict was in. Singapore Airlines, the A380's launch customer, started retiring theirs. British Airways cut their fleet. Lufthansa couldn't give away a 380 slots. Airbus announced production ends 2021, final deliveries to Emirates. Then COVID hit. And what was a slow retreat became a stampede. Airlines parking A380s in the Mojave Desert, wings covered, engines sealed. Some were only 8 years old, practically new by aviation standards. Air France retired their entire fleet, permanently. Qantas followed. Malaysia Airlines, Thai Airways, China Southern, all out. Analysts declared it the biggest strategic mistake in aviation history. Airbus had bet 25 billion on an aircraft nobody wanted. They'd delivered 251 A380s, exactly the number initially ordered. No growth, no follow-on sales. The Super Jumbo was dead, except Emirates ordered more. Let's be specific about what more means. While Lufthansa was parking 14 A380s, Emirates was taking delivery of their 118th. While Air France was sending theirs to scrapyards, Emirates signed a 2021 deal for 16 additional aircraft after Airbus announced production would end. Today, Emirates operates 116 A380s. The next largest operator? British Airways, with 12. This isn't a marginal difference. Emirates has 10 times more A380s than the second-place airline. So here's the question. Everyone in aviation asks, what does Emirates know that Lufthansa, British Airways, Qantas, Air France, Singapore Airlines, airlines with decades of experience, armies of analysts, and profitable operations, don't? The answer isn't one thing. It's three things converging in a way that only happens in one place. Dubai International Airport, 2023, 90 million passengers annually, third busiest airport in the world. But here's what's different. 70% are connecting passengers, not originating, not terminating, transferring. Emirates doesn't operate like Lufthansa or British Airways, airlines serving their home countries. Emirates operates as a global connector. Dubai sits at the geographic centre of the world. Draw a circle with a 4,000-mile radius from Dubai. You've captured half the world's population. London to Bangkok, stop in Dubai. Sydney to Frankfurt, Dubai. New York to Mumbai, Dubai. This is the hub-and-spoke model on steroids. And here's where the A380 makes sense. Emirates doesn't need to fill a 555-seat aircraft with people starting and ending in Dubai. They need to fill it with people connecting through Dubai. The math shifts entirely. When you're aggregating passengers from 12 inbound flights and distributing them across 15 outbound flights, a 555-seat aircraft isn't too big. It's exactly right-sized. You're consolidating demand. London to Dubai pulls from London, Manchester, Birmingham connections. Dubai to Sydney pulls from everywhere in Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. But the hub model alone doesn't explain it. Singapore operates a massive hub. So does Doha with Qatar Airways. They both ditched the A380. Here's where Emirates saw something others didn't. Standard A380 configuration, 545 seats, mostly economy. That's how Airbus pitched it. Democratizing international travel, massive economy sections. Emirates configured theirs differently. Their A380s carry 489, 517 passengers, depending on layout. Fewer seats. But look at the split. 14 first-class private suites, 76 business-class lie-flat seats, the rest economy. While other airlines saw the A380 as a way to pack more economy passengers, Emirates saw it as a way to sell luxury at scale. Those first-class suites, $10,000, $30,000 per ticket London to Dubai to Sydney. The business class, $5,000, $8,000. A 777 carries maybe 42 business class passengers. The A380 carries 76. That's 80% more premium revenue on the same route. And premium isn't just higher margin, it's wildly higher margin. An economy ticket might make $50 profit per seat. A business class ticket? $2,000, $3,000 profit. Do the math. 76 business class seats at $12,500 profit each. Ross $190,000 in business class profit alone. Per flight. Emirates didn't just buy A380s. They turned them into flying luxury hotels where the profit comes from the penthouses and the economy section just covers operating costs. This is where it gets really interesting. The A380 burns about 12,900 litres of fuel per hour. A 777-300ER burns about 8,200 litres. The A380 burns 57% more fuel, but the A380 carries 60 to 80% more passengers. The A380 is more fuel efficient per seat. Every airline knew this, so why did everyone else run away? Because fuel efficiency per seat only matters if you can fill the seats. Lufthansa couldn't. They'd fly Frankfurt to Los Angeles with 400 passengers in a 555-seat aircraft. That's 72% load factor. The empty seats kill you. Emirates averages 85% load factors on A380 routes. Some routes hit 90%. And here's the hidden advantage. Because Dubai is a hub, Emirates has schedule flexibility. If a London route isn't filling, they don't cancel the A380. They shift traffic from other European cities to consolidate. They're not locked into origin-destination demand. They're managing a network. Plus, and this is critical, Dubai has slot constraints, limited runway slots, limited gate space. When you can only operate X number of flights, you maximize revenue per flight. An A380 generating $2 to $3 million in revenue per departure is better than a 777 generating $1.5 million. Same slot, 3 factors: geographic position, premium revenue model, network management that fills seats. Take any 2 of those away, and the A380 makes no sense. But give an airline all 3, you get Emirates. Let's talk about what this actually means financially. Emirates reported their 2023 results, record profits, $3 billion profit on $17.2 billion revenue. Not just surviving post-COVID, thriving. And here's the data point that made Airbus executives talk about restarting production. Emirates A380 routes are more profitable than their 777 routes on the same city pairs. Dubai to London Heathrow, Emirates runs 6 daily flights, all A380s. That's 3,000 plus daily seats. Heathrow is slot constrained. They can't just add a 7th flight. The A380 isn't a compromise. It's the optimal aircraft for that route. Compare that to British Airways on the same route. They use 777s and 787s, can't match Emirates' capacity, and end up with higher costs per passenger. The A380 didn't fail. The business model around it failed. Lufthansa's parked A380s are coming out of storage. Not all of them, but 8 aircraft returning to service. They realised post-COVID demand is back, and they need the capacity. British Airways keeping their fleet. Korea Air brought theirs back. Even Singapore Airlines, who started the retirements, are keeping 6 aircraft. But here's the thing. They're not buying new ones. They're just realising the aircraft they already own aren't as obsolete as they thought. An A380 costs $450–500 million new, but a used A380, $50–80 million. Airlines that own them outright have a paid-off asset that, yes, burns more fuel than a 787, but doesn't require $500 million in capital to acquire. The math changes when you're not financing new aircraft. Airbus says they could restart the A380 line if Emirates orders 30-plus aircraft. Restarting production would cost hundreds of millions, require supplier contracts, tooling, workforce, but it's technically feasible. Emirates says they'd consider it if Airbus can improve fuel efficiency 10–15%, new engines, aerodynamic tweaks, weight reduction. Call it the A380neo. The A380 program lost billions. They'd need Emirates to commit to 50-plus aircraft just to break even. And Emirates knows this. They have leverage. Airbus needs Emirates more than Emirates needs Airbus. And this tells you something fundamental about modern aviation. There is no one-size-fits-all aircraft. The A380 works for Emirates' specific business model. The 787 works for Norwegian's point-to-point flights. The A350 works for Singapore Airlines' ultra-long haul. The 737 MAX works for Southwest's high-frequency network. The A380 wasn't a failure. It was an aircraft designed for a world that existed at 50 airports, but not at 500. Emirates found one of those 50 airports and built an entire airline around it. The question isn't whether the A380 will survive, it's whether Emirates' model can be replicated. And right now, only one other airline has even tried, Qatar Airways with their Doha hub. They operate 10 A380s. Profitable? Yes. At Emirates scale? Not close.